Ah, okay. Welcome back to the I Help Men Dress Better podcast. I'm Shlomo Homnick, and on this podcast, I really work to present style in a way that is accessible and nuanced so that you can make better style decisions in your own life. Today, I'm actually really excited because we're tackling the internet's top 10 most asked questions according to ChatGPT. And I actually got two lists, so it's going to be a little bit more than 10. But we are actually up to questions 8, 9, and 10. And until now, they've been good questions, but the three that I'm going to answer today actually have me excited. So, and we may not get to all of them, so this may bleed into another episode. But I'm excited by the questions that are coming up because I think they open the door to the nuance and thoughtfulness that I really think is more helpful in style than the wear this, don't wear that approach that I think a lot of people end up taking. But before we get into the episode, I'd just like to make a quick request. If you could like this episode, follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're watching this on, if you're on YouTube or on Spotify, whatever platform you are engaging with this, please leave a comment, leave some sort of review. If you could like, follow, so that you get updates for future episodes, it would really help me out. And hopefully, these podcasts are giving you value. So if you're getting value, why not get more, right? Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into the actual meat and potatoes. Question 8 of the internet's most asked men's style questions according to ChatGPT. So, number 8, can I wear sneakers with a suit? Here's ChatGPT's answer. See if we can get my ChatGPT voice. Can I wear sneakers with a suit? Pairing clean minimalist sneakers with a well-tailored suit. Casual suit can create a modern look. Ensure the sneakers are in a good condition and the suit fabric is less formal. Okay, that's honestly not bad advice. So let's just say that in a normal voice now. Can I wear sneakers with a suit? Pairing clean minimalist sneakers with a well-tailored suit can create a modern look, ensuring the sneakers are in a good condition and the suit fabric is less formal. Overall, pretty good recommendation. A few things that I would add. The number one piece of advice that I would give if you're looking to pair sneakers with a suit is to make sure that the overall suit leans more casual and that the sneakers lean more formal or at least minimal. So the way that I think about style is as a bunch of different puzzle pieces. And the puzzle pieces have different ends. So the same way that two puzzle pieces need to be a perfect fit, this is more like if you have one garment, it will have four offshoots, and there are infinite puzzle pieces that it can connect to, but they have to have something that connects them. So they have to have at least one of their four sides that connect them. So a suit and dress shoes, a classic suit, dress shirt, dress shoes, tie, you can almost view those as all four sides connect. And you can have areas where only two sides connect, one side connects, but you need something connecting these pieces. So your suit, you have to think of a suit as having sort of four formal sides, like a classic suit. And sneakers, classic sneakers, as having four casual sides. So what you need to do is you need to adjust some of those sides. So choosing fabrics. This says fabrics that are less formal, but it's not just fabrics. It's also the details in the suit. What sort of pockets are there? What sort of texture is there? How does the suit fit? Is it more relaxed? Is it more fitted and trendy? Is there something about it that feels more modern or casual? And there's lots of ways to make a suit more casual, but just to keep it high level, you want to have a number of factors making this suit lean casual. So now we have one formal puzzle side and we've adjusted it so that there's at least one casual side. Now with the sneakers, some ways that you can make sneakers more formal or refined is minimalism is a great way, one color or a neutral. So it doesn't have to be a neutral, it can be a bright color, a pop of color, but having it have a very simple silhouette, not a lot of odd shapes, mimicking the shape of a dress shoe. You could also choose something in a leather, a more formal or refined fabric. You can choose something that historically has more of a formal edge. And so that is like taking your puzzle piece and finding the sneaker puzzle piece that has one casual side but three more formal sides. And now your suit that has some casual elements and your sneakers that have some formal elements, now there's some overlap and now you can hook those pieces together and they'll look right. The right suit for this and the right sneakers for this, that's going to depend very much on you, on your personal style, on the sorts of colors, silhouettes that make the most sense for you. But if you want a mindset to approach this question from, I would say that's it. Think about your suit. Does it have elements that make it more casual? Think about your shoes. Do they have elements that make them more casual? And you can also use bridge pieces. So if your suit is relatively formal, but it has one or two details that makes it more casual, and you have sneakers that are slightly casual, but there are formal elements, you can pair the suit with, let's say, a t-shirt to add another formal element to the outfit holistically. So even if your suit only has, let's say, one puzzle piece side that's casual, then you put that with a t-shirt that has at least one puzzle piece side that's a little bit formal, and that could be a dark color or a very clean, simple, smooth, unwrinkled fabric that can add some more refinement. And then those can create more attachments for the sneakers. So you can also use the other parts of your outfit to increase the ways that the pieces connect to each other and tell a better story. Question number 9, how do I choose the right tie width? Once again, like I said at the beginning of the episode, these are the questions I get excited about because this is where you can have the deeper discussion, right? Just like with the sneakers, having that concept of how do I really think about the pieces that I'm putting together? This is a really great question to step into proportions. So the one thing, well, I guess I should give you ChatGPT's answer first, and then we'll compare that with what we'll augment it, we'll supplement it, we'll talk about it in a deeper way. The tie's width should match the lapel width of your suit jacket. Standard ties are about 3 to 3.5 inches wide, while slim ties are around 2 to 2.5 inches wide. How do I choose the right tie width? The tie's width should match the lapel width. Absolutely correct, with exception. So you want it to be close, at least. Getting it close should be enough, but getting it exact is nice. Standard ties are around 3 to 3.5 inches, while slim ties are around 2 to 2.5 inches. The one the one thing I can say about tie width and lapel width, besides the fact that they should be the same or similar, so you should be matching the width of your tie to the width of your lapel, the one thing I would say is you have to match that to your width. Because if you're just given this generic advice, it doesn't really tell you how to make the decision because now you just have a follow-up question. How do I choose my tie width? Match it to my lapel width. Well, how do I choose my lapel width? The answer to that has to do with your width. So if you are a wider person, then you want a wider lapel because you want to match your width with the width of your lapel. Then want to match the width of your lapel with the width of your tie. So your frame, if it's wider, you want to honor that with wider details, wider lapels, wider ties. If you're more medium, then you want to honor that with more medium lapels. Medium is usually closer to that 3-inch range, somewhere in the, I would say 3 inches probably medium for most people. But I think a better way to look at it than the specific measurements would be to consider how far the lapel is from the shoulder. So if you're wearing your jacket, I'm not wearing a jacket today, if your lapel is halfway or a little more than halfway, that would be considered wide. So if you're pretty wide, you want your lapel to be at the half or more than halfway mark between where it starts and your shoulder. If you are more medium, you want it to be closer to that halfway mark. It could be at the half or a touch below. And if you are more slender or more narrow, if you have more narrow shoulders, then you want that lapel to be really slim. You want that narrow lapel to mirror the narrowness in your shoulders. And what's really cool is this harmony actually affects you in two positive ways. So on the one hand, I'm going to focus on narrow because I think that this will illustrate it really well. But on the narrow end, not only are you honoring your narrowness with the narrow lapel, so everything looks very harmonious, but because the distance between the tip of your lapel to your shoulder is how we almost gauge the width of your shoulders, it also creates a widening effect. So if you have narrow shoulders, the thinner lapel looks very harmonious, and it also creates an unconscious illusion that you have wider shoulders than you actually do. And then from there, so starting with your width, you then decide how wide your lapels are going to be, and then you match your tie to that. And that is going to give you a much more harmonious look. If you want to create discord in your look, then you can make a conscious decision to wear a tie that doesn't match or wear something that's wide, right? You could be big and wear something narrow to throw off your proportions on purpose. The main point in style is being intentional. So if you are creating discord, it should be intentional discord so that you're not throwing yourself out of harmony by accident. That never looks good. But if you're intentionally doing it, you're making conscious decisions to carefully throw your body out of its natural alignment and harmony. That's when you can do something a little more edgy. And knowing how to do that in a way that looks good on your body takes knowledge and experience and discernment. And that's a lot of what I actually aim to help my clients with and teach, maybe not right away, but over time. Teaching the knowledge to make more discerning choices, not following the rules because they're rules, but using the rules as guidelines to make careful and conscious decisions. We are at the almost 15-minute mark, so we're not actually going to make it to the third question. That will have to wait till next week. But I'm really glad that I got to cover these two. I hope that these topics gave you a little bit of a deeper understanding of some of the considerations that go into style and how to look at those. I hope that this has made these decisions a little bit more accessible and a little bit less, unclear and inaccessible. Yeah, that's good words. Them's good words. If you enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed this episode, if you learned something, I would really appreciate it if you liked, followed, shared, subscribed, all of that good stuff, especially sharing. If there's anyone in your life that you think would benefit from this or be interested in this podcast, sharing it would go a long way. I would really appreciate it. And it would go a long way to making this, pushing the mission along of helping men dress better in a way that really aligns themselves with who they're meant to be, with who they are, and changing lives in a way that's much more than vanity and skin deep, but is a real deep, lasting change. That's what style is to me, and that's what I'm trying to put out into the world and help more guys get in touch with. So if you can share this, that would be much appreciated. If you want to connect with me personally, you can check me out on LinkedIn, Shlomo Hamnick. If you are interested in how you can work with me, you'll be able to reach me there. So you can send me a DM, or you can take my style quiz that's in my featured section, and there's a place to book a call at the end of that quiz. So you'll take the quiz, get your style archetype, which is, it changed my life and the way that I view getting dressed. So it's a really cool way to think about style. But then at the end, you get to book a call with me and actually discuss your results and get any questions that you have answered. So if you're interested in working with me or just interested in what I'm all about, that's a great place to start. I do post clips from this podcast on LinkedIn as well as other content posts. So check me out there. Go engage with my content. If there's anything that you're interested in, I do try to answer as many comments as I can. So leave any suggestions or questions, whether it just be for yourself or suggestions for future episodes. I'll leave those in the comments. And have a great week. Have a great day. I will see you in the next one.